on this paper, so let's make G the subject of this. So what we've got is everything's trapped under a square root. So what is the opposite of square rooting? Squaring, so let's square both sides. So we get e squared equals 7g plus 5 over 11 plus 2g. So now we're going to times out by 11 plus 2g on both sides. So we get e squared bracket 11 plus 2g equals 7g plus 5. Now we're going to make those brackets. What we're going to do, we're going to expand the brackets. 11e squared plus 2e squared g equals 7g plus 5. And then we are going to try and get all my g's on one side. So let's take off the 11g from that side to 11e squared even from that side equals 7g plus 5 minus 11e squared. And then let's add the 7g onto this side. So it's 2e squared g plus 7 minus 7g equals 5 minus 11e squared. Now, we've got to remove the g from both of these by factorising. So we'll take the g outside. 2e squared minus 7 equals 5 minus 11e squared. And then we'll just finish off by dividing by the 2e squared minus 7. It's quite a mouthful, this. Over 2e squared minus 7. That can all go up there. Right, we know that this on the left is greater than 0. We also know it's a quadratic. So we're going to start off by solving the quadratic first. So 3y squared plus 4y minus 32 is greater than 0. Let's times the 3 by the 32 and we get minus 96. Let's then make this add. Something has to minus the 96 and add to 4. So it's not going to be the 1s and the 96s or the 2s, and that's minus, oh no, it would be minus 1 and 96, or the 2s and the, I don't know, 48, that's a minus, and there would be minus 2 and 48, and that would be minus 1 and 96. So 3, no, that would be 3 and 32, 4. That's 20 something or other, 4 and 20 blackbirds. No, 4 and 24. 5 doesn't go in 6. Yep, that does go in 6. That's 136. That's one. We're still nowhere near 4, 7, 8. 8 and goes in once, 1 over 8 and 12. 8 and 12, finally. So we need the bigger one to be. So it's going to be 3y squared, and it's going to be plus 12y minus 8y. Sorry, it's a minus and a plus. Minus 32 is greater than 0. So we know that that breaks down to, that's 3y on the outside if we take this bit, and that's y plus 4. And so this one would be, these two have got 8 in common, so minus 8, then that's y plus 4. So we know that 3y minus 8 and y plus 4 has got to be greater than 0. Now let's just do a little, let's find out what y equals. So y equals, so 3y minus 8 equals 0. So that means that 3y equals 8. So y equals 8 over 3. And then, of course, y equals minus 4. So let's draw a little diagram. And let's mark this in. So y equals minus 4. So let's call that minus 4. And y equals 8 over 3. So that's almost 3. So that's about there. So 8 over 3. So now we draw a little thing. And both these things have got to be greater than 0. So it's this bit here where it's right. So this bit and this bit. So we know that y has got to be less than -4 for this to be true, and y has got to be greater than 8/3. And that's the answer. Right. Oh, it's one of these. So 60 art students were asked if they would like to attend a knitting, photography or embroidery thing. And 9 of them chose knitting, photography and embroidery, which, I mean, nobody can do all 3, surely. Then 17 chose knitting and photography, so that would be this section, but 9 have already chosen all 3, so that's just 8 in there. 16 chose photography and embroidery, and then they've already got 9 in there, so that's 7. And 20 chose knitting and embroidery. Hold on. 16 chose photography and embroidery. Oh, it would help if I could read. Let's start that again. So 17 chose knitting and photography, so that's in here, so that's 8 in there, because that adds up to 17 together. 16 chose photography and embroidery, so that would be 7 in there. And 11 chose knitting and embroidery, so that's, well, rather 20 did, so that's 11. Now, 28 chose photography. Bloody hell. So that's 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 7 is 24, so that's 4. 39 chose embroidery, so that's 27, that's 12. And 2 chose none of the workshops. Using this, what happened to knitting? So that means, how many have we got altogether? So we've got 60. So we've got 12 plus 2 is 14, plus 7 is 21, 30, 41, 49, 53. So 7 goes in there. And that's what it all looks like. One of the that makes sense. One of the students was chosen at random. Given the student chose photography, find the probability that they also chose knitting. So that means we have to choose from just this section here. So altogether, the people that chose photography is 7, 11, 20, 28. So the bottom's going to be 28, but they also chose knitting, that's 17 over 28. So 17 over 28 is the answer to that. What about the idea that the number that chose, whatever that is, photography, but didn't choose knitting? So choosing photography but didn't choose knitting would be 11. And then finally, the number that chose was a member of photography and embroidery and intersected with knitting. So that would be photography and embroidery. Photography and embroidery, so it's all this. Ew. So photography, and I really want this in another colour. Okay, so photography and embroidery, but not knitting. So that'd be 12, 19, 23. Yeah, 23, I think. And I think I've now got to stop working.